Okay, this is just a little bit of instruction on how to do image resizing. So, over my career, which is spanned I, the last 20, close to 25 years, I've worked in lots of different technology situations, different companies. I've worked as a consultant and a contractor and an employee for web design companies and design companies. And there's lots of, and actually, I worked for a newspaper a long time ago. And so images need to be in a different sizes for all kinds of things. Like, so print, and I've done screen printing, and print and screen printing are getting to be kind of old news, but you may have to do that. So just be aware of that. But let's get moving. So what I'm going to focus on in this presentation is web design photos. So, and let me show you some of the reasons why here. Okay, so for websites, let's give you this example here. So there's a little thing that tests your web page to see how fast it loads, and there's quite a few arguments on how fast your website loads to how, like, you'll drop traffic. In some places, you'll drop traffic because of what because how slow your page loads. But it really depends on your audience, because if you have something that's really important, people will wait if you've got good stuff. So anyway, so what this lighthouse does is it gives you a score, and then these red areas tell where things are having problems. And so we're just looking at this right here, and it's saying, okay, here's how much. This is how large it is right now, and this is how large it could be. And so you would get your images to load sooner. So let's just so there's a number of ways to do this. So the first way is to use like an image resize. You can just resize the image, and I'll explain that a little bit. That you can subtract the number of pixels in the image, and that will help. And then there are algorithms that will make the same amount of pixels smaller. Basically, they're just taking things that they'll look at something. If it's a bunch of one color, they'll just make all of those colors the same, and so it will take up less space. And so, I mean, that's an oversimplification of the situation, but let me show you. So I have downloaded the photos from this website. And so I'm just going to focus on the Pawnee City Hall. And so the current size right here that it's showing on the page is this one right here, this WEP file format. And it is at 85 kilobytes, and it's 1,000 by 562. Now, if you want to see this dimensions, normally in Windows, and I should do one on a Mac to show you, you can see similar things on a Mac. But right here, you can click over the name, and there's a drop down. Well, I'll do it on this one. So you can hit the drop down, and then because normally you won't see the dimensions here. So you're going to have to click on more, and and I'm using Windows 11, and so it may look a little bit different in Windows 10. So if you scroll down, you can see there is just literally hundreds of things here. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the dimension, and we've actually got it checked. But it is, maybe because we already have it checked, it did push it up. But if you don't have it, you'll have to scroll down and you'll find it. You can also do, if you want to do this, you could do width and height. And we'll see that in here. So we've got height, and if we scroll clear down to the bottom, you will see width there. And I'll click OK, and then you can see we've got width and height out there. The dimensions are showing, and you just have to know that that's, oh, look. So it's width and height. And you can change those around. You can move these wherever you want to, but I'm just showing you here. So I just went out and did a search on the internet for so the first thing I thought is I want to go just maybe try to change the size in this Pisces. This is something that I've used in the past. This is just it's a free online tool that you can use. So when we click, we're going to load this up and it says, open a photo to get started, try our samples. Or we're just going to, from my computer. So as soon as I started to do this, I went into the Pawnee and we're looking, and I've got some JPEGs in there now, but that was not the case when I started. And so if I'm just looking for so the and here you can change to details so you can see what we're looking at here. And so here's the WP file, and I try to open this and it lied to me. So I wonder if, because it was telling me it couldn't. Oh, so it's looking, this is a JPEG. We're going to open one again from my computer. We're going to do all files. Because I haven't done this CO Parks and Rec, so I'm just going to click open on that. Oh, this was a WP. Anyway, so it lied to me. It said it wouldn't open it, but it opened it here. So there are other ones like this. There is a Pixlr. Let's open an image in here. Let's get the WEP. So all of these, we can load these images. We can load these images into these different photo. I'm going to get that one back open. So we're looking at the same one here. So this one, when I go to save this to my computer, it's giving me an PNG format here. I'm going to put version 2 at the end. And so right here, it's telling me what the size is. So we can go back and look at the size of what the JPEG is in there now. And the JPEG that we've got in there is 126. This one says 120. So it is, and if I change it to this, you can see it makes it smaller here. But it's giving you, and then if you go the highest, it's actually making it larger. So we could do it here, and I'll save to my computer this way, and then we'll take a look at these. So let's take a look at these. Where's the version 2? Maybe it went to my download folder. Let me open the download folder. It did. It moved it. So I'm going to put it in here. So here's this one. Let's just pull this up. We're going to pull both of these up. And here is the WebP version. So here's the WebP version. We'll scroll in kind of tight. We'll look at this lamp to see. How that views up against the. We'll look to see what this is like up against the WebP version, the original version. And obviously, I should have had some of these already loaded because this is basically wasting your time. Hopefully you're watching this as double or triple speed. You can see, so here, this is the version, and this actually looks a little bit smoothed out to here. And you can see that that JPEG, they're about this. They're about the same size. They're about the same size. So the next thing, I just looking at these, I looked at some other of these. There's this web convert IO where you can choose the WebP to JPEG, or you can just go WebP to maybe WebP. It may have it on there. So there's this version, but the there is an article, and I will include the article too. So this article was updated January 1st, 2024. So it's looking at these online image optimizers. And so the first one that it listed here was this, it listed compressed now, or maybe compressed now was the one that needed a JPEG. Anyway, I can't remember. So they have this tiny PNG. They have several of these that will compress these files. And so I looked at this tiny PNG. Let's see. So we've got this tiny PNG, and it's got this cute panda on there. And so you can just drop your images in here. So I dropped the WebP image in here, and it spit out a WebP image at this size. So it took it from the 85 kilobytes down to the 42 kilobytes, which was similar to what the Image Lighthouse said here that we could do with this Pawnee City Hall. They said 43 kilobytes. This one took it down to 42. And then there was this other one, this compressed.io, similar type of a thing. Oh, this is convert.io, but there's also a compressed.io. And the compressor.io got it to 41. And so here you will see that you can get this if you just run it through one of these. And then I'll show you. So we'll look at this one right here, this Swanee, this Sweetums 2 WebP. We'll run that one through one of these just to see. So we'll get the tiny there. We've got the, here's the Sweetum. I'll drag this off the page. I'll show you what it looks like. So we've got this. We drag this in here. It shows that there's a 56. It took it from the 108. Took it from the 108 here down to this 40. And so you just click on here. It sends it into my my downloads folder, which I have. Let's see, where's the. So I'll move this Sweetums that from the tiny PNG file. It's just the WebP. And so we'll see that it's down to 48 now. So this is the way to do this. And then I looked at, so one of the other things that I would suggest taking a look at, and this video is way too long. One of the other things that I would look at is actually just changing the size, because 1,000 pixels on a website is, so let's show the, so I'm going to make the argument. I've got this little tool in the browser, And so then I can measure a picture here. So we're doing the measurements here on this photo, and we can see it's about 500 pixels wide and 280 pixels tall. And so what I did is I took it into one of these editors and I modified it so it was smaller just for the WebP. And this is not the compressed one. This is just the regular version, and it's 18 kilobytes. So let's run this WebP through the tiny image, our fun little panda guy here. Let's see what he comes up with. So I'm not expecting a ton of stuff from this, but a ton of compression on this one. But let's throw this one in there and let's see. So we got it from 5%, and so it's still at 18 kilobytes. And so I'm not even going to try to download that one. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You can see the compression. Once we get it down that small, it's not doing much for that. So that's just an experiment here, but you can see where you can take that picture that was 77 and you can get it down to 18. This is taking away the number of pixels. So, but let's take a look at this. Let's hold this one up against. So this is 700% blown up here. That's our original one. Let's take a look at this one. So now we can see here we're up to 900, but we can see once we get it to the same size here, there is a definite degradation of the photo. However, let's just go back to we're going to go back to the size that it's going to look like so this is the size it's going to be. That's 100% there. And then we're going to draw this one down we're going to take this one, so once we get it to, it's only going to go 60%. But at this point, we're looking at this. There is not a huge difference in what I see in here and what I see over here. So there is ways to get those images way smaller by going through just using some of these tools. So this is my first draft of this, and I will probably do another one. Hopefully make this one, hopefully make it shorter.